What's good? Back again with AI Betting Blueprint, aka Mr. Totals, locked in for April 29th. And I got my 5 best plays lined up for the slate. Monday, we went 1-3. I didn't do a video on Tuesday because I had an issue with my loom. But so I'm back today. Not the standard, but that's part of the game. We stay disciplined, we stay consistent, and we move forward. This is a long-term play, not a one-day sprint. Everything you get in here is backed by real research, not surface level trends. I'm breaking down true value, and anyone can show you the last 10 game stats because I do it as well. But value comes first. The numbers tell me where the edge is, and then I validate it with the data. If a line should be priced at 145 and we're grabbing it at 135 somewhere else, that's where the money is made. That's the gap. That's profit over time. Same thing with line movement. Watching sharp books move before the public catches up gives you a serious advantage. That's what I track daily, and that's what I pass along, both here and in my VIP. Over time, small edges stack up, and an extra 10 cents of value doesn't feel big today, but over weeks and months, that's a difference between being average and being profitable. Nobody wins every day. We all know that. And if they say they do, I'd run the other way. Nobody's perfect. But if you're consistently hitting EV plus EV spots and beating the closing line value, you're putting yourself in a position to win long term. And that's the blueprint. That's the AI blueprint. I'll keep showing you these videos, not just picks, but how the whole process works. Now, some quick housekeeping before we get into the picks today. If you rock with the content, hit the like button and subscribe. It helps the channel grow and it keeps the content coming. Watch all the way through the video because YouTube rewards for watch time. Meaning, like, if you watch the video to the end, they reward me for that. So don't skip to the picks, even though I know some of you probably will. There's value throughout the video. And at the end, I'm dropping my 2 play of the days. And if you comment candy and hit the like button, I'll hook a few of you up with the free VIP for a week. Now let's get into some housekeeping. Right here, I'm placing my bets today on chalkboard. Right here, you get a 100% match plus a free pick if you use code BUCK. Right? Chalkboard has great odds. They give you a profit boost almost every day. A little bit after 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, you get a 10%, sometimes a 20% profit boost. So check that out. Use code BUCK. BetUS gives you a 225% welcome bonus up to your first 3 deposits and up to $1,000. You can play straight bets there, money line bets, everything. I love BetUS. A few of the lines that I'm getting today are on BetUS. So click the link in the bio, sign up with BetUS. And I have a free Discord. Come sweat the games with us. If you sign up for any of my codes and you use BUCK, or if you use Lakers32, or if you sign up through the link, you get a free month of VIP. All you have to do is screenshot your sign-up process that you did it to 360-302-2529, and I'll go ahead and hook you up with a month of free IP. So without further ado, let's get into the picks. My first pick is going to be Chris Bassett. Walks allowed over 1.5. Now this one writes itself. Here's why sharps are all over it, or here's why I'm all over it. Bassett over 1.5 walks versus Houston. In his last 5 games, he's hit this mark 80% of the time. His last 10 games, he's hit this 80% of the time, and he's averaging 2.6 walks in those games. Bassett used to be a decent pitcher, but for some reason he's got walk-itis. His median is 2 on 1.5 line. His walks per 9 are 5.5, which is in the 5th percentile. And his walks overall is at 12%. The league average of walks is 9.6%, and he's averaging 11%. His ERA is 6.75, and his FIP is 6.25. His command is cooked. Houston ranks third in walks versus right-hand pitchers in the league. They don't chase, they grind counts out. So they're meeting a walk machine is meeting a walk hunter. Only 2 misses in his last 10, both just 1 walks. So I'm putting 2 units on this. My confidence level on this is 8 out of 10. So look right here. I'm going to show you guys as I was giving over the stats. Look, 2.6 is what he's averaging over his last 5 games. He's 4 out of 5. He's had 4 walks against Texas. He had 4 walks against Cleveland, 2 walks against Kansas City. Dude's a walk machine. In his last 10 games, you see here, I just told you, 80%, 8 out of 10 games. He's still averaging 2.4 walks, and and we get the line at 1.5. I mean, look, 2 in Cleveland, 2 in Kansas City, 4 in Cleveland, 1 in Frisco, 2, 4, 2. It sounds like we're playing tag, 2, 4, 2. Head to head, he's only got 1. In 2026, he's averaging 80%. 4 out of his last 5, he's walked. So this is a really good bat. And like I said, Houston is in top 5s in walks. And here's where I get that from FanGraph. Look at team stats. We look at walks. I'll go ahead and show that for you. Look, 12.6. The Yankees walk the most, but look, Milwaukee, Cincinnati, LA, Houston, 11% right here. This is huge. He walks 11%. So, I mean, this is, I'm not saying anything's a lot because we know nothing's a lot, but this is a really good play. Love it. Chris Bassett over 1.5 walks. My next play is going to be Christian Walker over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Now, if you look right here, I always talk about value. We just talked about it. You can get this at 119 over at DraftKings. But look, this is going for 128 on Sleeper, 127 on ProfitX, and 125 on Flip. So obviously, if these guys are saying that that's what they're charging for the line or for the prop, then it's probably right around there. So you can kick this at BetUS at 117, which is a few points lower than DraftKings, but still a good play. Christian Walker, in his last 5 games, he's hit this mark 80% of the time, averaging 3.4 hits, runs, and RBIs. His median is 3 on a 1.5 line. 4 out of his last 5 games, he's cleared this line, including he put up an 8 spot right here against the Yankees, as you can see. 3 hits, 4 RBIs versus the Yankees. That was on 426. Head-to-head versus Bassett, the guy that walks a shitload of people. He's averaging 357 with a 400 on-base percentage and 15 plate appearances since 2008. 2026 versus right-hand pitching, 329 average with a WRC plus of 175. That's elite. I mean, WRC plus matters, just hits, runs, RBI. It's a better stat than most people think. And 100 is the league average, and he's got a 177, so that's elite. Walker's WOBA versus this Arsenal is a 406, so he owns this matchup. And look, in his last 5 games, 80%, 3.4 average of hits, runs, and RBIs. In his last 10 games, he's hit this mark 50% of the time. And head-to-head, he's 57% of the time, 4 out of 7. So this is a really good play. And just because I give you all the stats, what the stats really simply mean is that we're in a ballpark of what could possibly happen. It doesn't guarantee anything. This could be all green and he still could get 0 hits. But this just shows you that his ability to get that is right on par. I mean, he's averaging 4.4 plate appearances in those games. And right here it says Christian Walker has exceeded 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs 4 out of his last 5 games. And if we look down to his pitching thing real fast, he's got a 518 WOBA against his sinker, which is the pitch that he throws the most. That's excellent. And then against his curveball, not doing so well. Against his cutter, he's back at another pitch that he throws a lot, 564 WOBA. So this is a lock-in spot. He's on the road, so he's definitely going to see a lot of pitches. I expect him to get this marker, no problem. Christian Walker, over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. My next one is the great Hall of Famer, Michael Trout. We get his line at 127, over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. As you can see here, 127 is good. Look, we got Sleeper charging 196, Flip charging 190, ProfitX charging 142, And if you take it on prize picks, you can't do it solo. It's at 119. And we all know with prize picks, most of their lines are at 119. So this is a really good play right here. Mike Trout over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs in 2026. He's hit this mark 57% of the times. In his last 20 games, he's hitting this mark at a 60% clip. Mike Trout can hit any pitcher at any time. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's DeGrom, Ohtani. I mean, he's a G. So sometimes you have to throw the stats out with Mike Trout just because of his ability, his Hall of Fame status, and it's just average. So he can definitely get this. This year, he's 17 for 20. Like I said, 57% hit rate. The Hall of Fame recent games have been cold. His last 5 hasn't been cold. He's hit the mark 40% of the time, and his last 10, 40% of the time. But I like the environment. The White Sox, this total is over 9 runs for today. So the environment is set up for him and the Angels and the White Sox to score a lot of runs. He's averaging 4.7 plate appearances in these games. And like I said, he's on the road, so he's definitely going to get 4 at-bats. So I love this play here for Mike Trout, over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Now let's get into some more. Okay, and my next play is going to be Gunnar Henderson over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. In Henderson's last 5 games, he's hitting this mark at a 60% rate. And in his last 10 games, he's hitting this mark. Hold on one second. In his last 10 games, he's hitting this mark at a 60% clip. His medium, he's averaging around 3 hits a game in those games, and his medium is around 3. On 422 and 425, he bounced back with 7 and 5 hits in between that. Henderson is a boomer bust guy, right? 80% hit rate at home in his last 10, averaging 2.8. And his home games, as you see here, averaging 10.8. That's an 80% hit rate. He's batting at the top of the lineup, so he's definitely going to get 4 at-bats. As we can see here in his last 5 games, he's hit this mark 4 out of 5 times. Henderson has power. Again, this is a decent total. I think it's 8.5 for today, so I really like Henderson here to get this mark. Head-to-head, he's hitting it at an 80% hit rate, 2.8 hits, runs, and RBIs in those games. And in 2026, this year, he's hitting this mark 9 out of 13 times, which is a 69% hit rate. So I really like Henderson here versus right-hand pitching. You can see Henderson has exceeded 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs in 8 out of his last 10 games at home. And again, he's facing Lambert, who's really not a good pitcher. If you look at some of his pitches, he's got a 324 WOBA against his fastball, which is his main pitch. Against his changeup, he's not doing too well, 114. Against his slider, 285. And against his cutter, he's got a 585 WOBA. So I really like him here to go over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. And my last play is going to be Lynn Sosa under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Now, he's failed to hit this mark, 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs 7 out of his last 10 games. He's averaging a 213 average in 2026. And he's got a 32.2% WRC plus, which is bottom tier. He's got 0 hits in back-to-back games, 426 and 427. You see right here on the screen. And I lean under the 1.5 because he's got a cold bat. He's only come up to the plate 3.4 averages, and Bello quite handles right-handers very well. His overall numbers don't suggest that he does well, but against right-handers, he does well. It's a small sample size, but head-to-head is not enticing either. He doesn't have, look at his head-to-head. He's hit this mark 6 out of 8 times, which is a 75% hit rate. So I really like him to go under this total, and he's in a slump. And I love to get people when they're in their first 5 or 10 games and they're slumping, because that's probably what they're going to continue to keep doing before they regress to getting out. So he's only averaging 1.25 hits in those games. So Lynn Sosa under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. All right, so let's recap. We got Chris Bassett to go over 1.5 walks. We got Christian Walker to go over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. We got Mike Trout to go over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. We got Gunnar Henderson to go over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. And then we got Lynn Sosa to go under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. As I told you guys, I'm going to give you 2 plays. Lakers -4. This line, if you look here, this is my sharp money tool. Great tool. As you look here, right here, you see the limits are going up, the pinnacle limits. This white line is the pinnacle limit. It was around 3K. As you can see on the screen, it's a little short, but it was 3K, then it shot up to 5K. And as you can see, it was at 112 and then it went down. So money's been coming in sharp since then. Pinnacle wouldn't raise its limits while the money's coming in and go up if they weren't confident in the line. Look, the line was 3, now it's down to 4. It was started off at 2. So I love the Lakers -4 here to go ahead and end this series today. That's the first pick. And my second pick is going to be the the Toronto Raptors and the Cleveland Cavaliers over 215.5 points. So those are my 2 plays. Thank you for staying to the end. If you stay to the end, those are my 2 locks. My VIP plays LA, Lakers -4, and Toronto, Cleveland over 215.5 points. It's your boy AI Betting Blueprint. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment in there if you want to get a free VIP. Peace.